Now, did you ever see that movie with a guy who invented the automatic windshield wiper blade or something like that? You know, and it was a car accessory. It was a real inventor. And they made a movie out of his story how, you know, GM or one of the big manufacturers took his idea and, you know, he lost a lot of money and they made gazillions on it, you know. And what's interesting now is not only that that's so hard to happen anymore nowadays, is that, see, before, if you had an idea, you had to go to a big company to get it done. Now you don't. You can do it yourself, you can protect it yourself, you sell it yourself, you can design it yourself, and do it without hardly any money at all. You know? And the next interview is a fella, actually a bunch of guys, who figured out making streaming, video streaming, so you could watch Netflix and things like that, a lot easier, cheaper, faster, and all. Just by, I mean, it's technology that I don't know how to manipulate, certainly, and but they did. And they're not backed by any big companies or anything. They're doing it all themselves, you know. And really what's happening now, I mean, I see, you know, the cable companies, they're going out of business. Who watches cable anymore? No, you're watching on the internet. But it has to be streaming. So these big cable companies now are going to sell you. This is what they're talking about, you know, in regulating. They want to charge some people more and some people less and things like that. And so it's not open roads kind of thing. And so what they've figured out, how to have fast streaming video without paying for a big tube. See, if you have a lot of video you want to share, read, or whatever, you're going to have to pay Comcast or one of these people a lot of money if you want to watch video without it stopping and starting, stopping and starting. Now they figured it out, where instead of streaming it through, they're finding all the other people. This is the way I understand it, that it's peer-to-peer. So they're streaming it and say 20 people are watching it. Okay, they're not going through one tube to get it to you. They're going to, all these other people have it too, so they're bringing little bits from all these other places. See, it's all done by the speed of light, so you don't know, you know, we don't feel it, but it's getting to you faster because it's all not coming from one source. It's coming from maybe 50 sources, 100 sources or whatever to get you all the little bits so they don't break up, going, getting to you so you can watch it free of any blips in your bips or whatever it is. But it's just exciting, I think, what's going on out there. These are young people without a lot of money to make this kind of technology happen for them, you know, to make it easier and cheaper for the rest of us. And that's why I think we're going to have less gatekeepers in our world anymore. You know, fat cats controlling everything. They got maybe, you know, 90% of the income now, but it's really the technology and services and everything are going to be distributed more and cheaper for everybody else. And it's going to be a more equal-sum society, you know? And that's all because of technology. One person may look at Uber, look at Airbnb, you know, I mean, now the hotel business is, you know, crumbling a bit because everybody's renting their own rooms to people, you know. And so to me, to rent a room, somebody, no, I just put it on the internet and people come, and we do that to our apartment downtown, you know. So if somebody wants to invest billions in a hotel, you know, that's crazy anymore, you know, because people are selling their own rooms cheaper than the hotel, and people having more fun going to their own rooms. So here's one that figured out how to better, faster, cheaper of streaming video, and more videos on the internet now than ever before, and more going to be on next year than ever before, and it'll keep going like that. This is why I don't write books, I do video. So watch this. Well, Pierre-Louis Trion, and from France, but you're actually in Boston today because you also have a company here in the States and in France, and you're an engineer, and you have something terrific, the StreamRoot.io, which is the suffix for somewhere in some islands, isn't it? I-O? Instead of,
yeah, it's UK islands.
Right, so but it makes sense for you because you're in the in and out business, right? Because you're handling streaming. And now what you solved, I mean, you and your buddies, a bunch of fresh engineers out of the biggest engineering school in Paris, and you solve the streaming problems. You know, when I'm there, I'm looking at a movie or something, and it stops. You know, and then it goes again, and I miss something, and all that kind of stuff. So you created something new for everybody to use that are streaming videos now, haven't you?
Exactly. So you told it like the buffering is just horrible. You're watching something and you have to wait in front of that and you don't know what happened. So we developed StreamRoot, which is some kind of new peer-to-peer video streaming technology. So we are providing a technology to broadcasters to help them to provide a much better streaming quality and reduce a lot the cost for the bandwidth.
So if I was a big video, platform or something like that, and spreading video out around the company, a lot of people watching this stuff, so I could save a hell of a lot of money by using your stuff, right? Because everybody doesn't come to one server where there's a big tube coming out. That you figured out the technology of grabbing it from everybody on the network who's already using it and shuffling it around, and the user doesn't even know what the hell's going on, but it's cheaper, better.
Exactly, cheaper and better. So you say that usually today all the users are downloading the same video from one server, and it's like it's not efficient at all. So what we are doing is that we are connecting the people who are watching the same streaming or the same video, so they can get the segments of the video directly from each other without asking the server and charging the server. So it can reduce the cost by up to 70% for the broadcasters, and for end users it's like a much better streaming quality without buffering, without latencies and everything.
So you're going to tick off the cable companies even more. Because the cable companies are charging bandwidth, and now they're not going to have programming anymore. They're just going to have bandwidth to sell, and you're going to figure out how to cheat them out of bandwidth.
Yeah. I mean, the cable company, most of the people just want to watch a video online and don't want to watch the old cable TV because they want to watch on the iPad, on their smartphone, on their computer. So people are just asking for bandwidth today and not asking also for the old cable TV, because they know if they have the bandwidth, they can watch ESPN online, they can watch CNN online. So hey, we can help them.
But also, I mean, to me, what's interesting about this, I mean, it really is getting ahead of the curve on how we're providing information. Like me, I've written 100 books, but last 3, 4, 5 years, I haven't written a book at all. It's all been, and I don't have to write, I just do video, so I have thousands and thousands of hours of video, and that's how I'm communicating nowadays instead of books. So you're there making all that, easier for the rest of everybody to use.
Video is literally exploding over the internet. Today, according to Cisco, it's like 60% of the whole internet traffic is video.
Wow, 60% of all internet traffic is video.
It's video.
Wow.
And it's going to increase in the next couple of years. Like some projections say that it's going to be like 80-90% of the traffic. And the networks can't handle that.
Right. Well, that's wonderful, because now I don't have to know how to spell. That was my biggest problem with writing. Even with spell check. And I could never write like this, like I talk. So that's wonderful. 60%. Oh, that's right. Now, the three of you, I mean, you're electrical engineers or IT engineers? What kind of engineering?
So we have different backgrounds. Most of the team has a computer science engineer background, and I have more business-oriented engineering background. So we created a company more than 18 months ago. Launched the company and the product in France. Then last August we moved to Boston to be part of the Techstars accelerating program, which is one of the best accelerating program in the US. So we moved there. It was a great experience, and now we decided that we're going to stay around because the US market is like really
Yeah.
cool. And
So you started in France, and they have a startup community. So you got assistance from the startup community in France. You came here, found help to get assistance here, and now you'll be global and giving your
exactly.
assistance back everywhere, huh?
Yeah, that's, I mean, the internet is like magic for that. You can be wherever you want in the world, and you can sell in China, in South America, because it's
But
just
it's still even
it's in
creating your
software.
business. I mean, you've already used 2 countries to help create your business.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. Well, you're a delight, Pierre, and thank you so much. And everybody should at least find out about it. If you don't have a big video platform, it doesn't matter, because you got to know about this stuff because it's here already, and you're going to be using it more. It's Stream Root, like in root in a tree, .io, not .com. So streamroot.io, and watch the magic happen, right? Because you're making it happen, and it's wonderful to see, ideas come from everywhere and make living easier and provide services that make the rest of our life a lot easier too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, Pierre. Take care. Talk to you
Uh,
soon.
it was a pleasure.
Bye.